Well, hey guys, welcome aboard. We're the Heavy Metal Truckers, and we take a listen to things that are heavy, and we give our honest thoughts on them. But this time, we're not listening to anything. Well, you guys will be because there will be a backing track, but we are giving our honest thoughts on the latest album from none other than Rob Zombie with his latest album, The Great Satan. So, lads.
Let's see. So I discovered Rob Zombie, I don't know, mid to late 90s, somewhere around there. So a long time ago.
Ancient. Old as dirt.
I know. Feels that way sometimes. Seen him in concert before. It's been a long time now. It's been 21 years since I saw him in concert. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's been that long ago. Jeez.
I remember when.
I know, right? Anyway, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little nervous going into this album because the first two or however many songs, 2 or 3, I don't remember, that we had listened to, they weren't bad, but they were just kind of so-so. They were all right for me. So I was kind of a little worried because of that going into the album. When I first saw the album, so I was 15 tracks. I was like, holy crap, that's a long album, especially in today's day.
Same.
But some of them were little short little thingies so it really, those 15 tracks, it really didn't feel like it. Let's put it that way.
I mean, it was about an hour long, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, it was
something
38
like that.
minutes.
The whole thing was 38 minutes.
38 minutes. And I'll explain why
like
later.
Like I said, it didn't feel like a 15 track album because there were several of them that were like a minute long.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I listened to the album, and for the most part, I was actually pleasantly surprised. The songs that we had listened to sounded better and fit better in the context of the album than they did when we listened to them as singles. So I enjoyed them more this time around than I did the first time we listened to them. What was I going to say? My mind just went blank. But no, I enjoyed it for the most part. There was one song in particular. I need to bring up the not backing track, but the track listing. Oh, yeah, the first song. I don't know what it was, but I really enjoyed the first song. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
FTW 84. I don't know. I don't know. It was a fun song. It really was. There was one song. Which one was it? Even looking at them, I can't. Was it Black Rat Coffin?
I was about to say.
I don't know. There was. Huh?
It's hard to tell because I'll get into that later.
Yeah. Black Rat Coffin. I think it might have been. I don't know. But there's one that really reminded me of old school Zombie. From like back in the late '90s, whatever. Yeah. There were some of them that were like Welcome to Electric Age. I wasn't a huge fan of that one.
I'm waiting to see if you say.
But what?
Lord Acid.
Oh, I was actually just about to get there. Sir Lord Acid Wolfman. Yeah. Honestly, I thought it was a fun little song, kind of like the first one.
Yeah.
It was. This album as a whole, honestly, just seemed like he was having fun making music, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And it came through. That's why I said, the first couple songs, when we heard them, they were just okay. But in the context of the album and hearing the whole album, they made a lot more sense. Yeah. And they fit a lot better. So overall, I really enjoyed it because, like I said, you could tell he had fun with this album. It comes through in the music. Some of the songs were really fun. I'm not sure why he put some of those little short, more like spoken word type things in there. I'd probably have to go back and listen to them again to maybe get an idea because at the time I was just really mainly listening musically.
Yeah.
But no, overall I enjoyed it. I thought it was a solid album. It was better than I expected going in. So for me, I actually gave it 4 out of 5.
Well done. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
For you, sir.
So I first heard Rob Zombie in early 2000s. What year particularly? I don't know.
Hold up. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Give me just a moment. I'm about to look up something because I'm kind of guessing as to whenever you probably heard him.
Wonderful.
because I know you played for the Need for Speed series. Is that where you?
What's funny is I don't even think it's Need for Speed. No, I think the very first song I heard from him was "Living Dead Girl."
Okay, well then fuck me.
It actually might have been very end of the '90s, honestly. Whenever Bride of Chucky came out, is where I first heard him, because they played "Living Dead Girl" in that. But yeah, I'd heard him. I think it was '99. It was either '99 or 2000. But yeah, I'd heard him. That's when I first was introduced to him, and then periodically through the 2000s, that's when I would occasionally listen to him. Pretty much up until like high school, and then I kind of just didn't try and hear anything more from him. Not like because I'll screw him, but it just never came up. Right. Then when we started listening to these singles from him that have been coming out, I was like, all right, this is going to be intriguing. Let's see what what we're going to be coming across here. It was, I don't remember. I honestly don't remember any about the singles, to be honest with you.
Well, man, it's been a while since we listened to them.
Yeah. So, I kind of almost went into the album with a fresh, clean perspective. That being said, getting into the album, it kind of had to me at least, it kind of had a blend of old school Rob Zombie meets modern metal, where you kind of had you had some old school aspects to it, but you also had the twinge of modern in it. And
would you mean that? Are you saying that in the sound or mainly the production side?
More the sound.
Okay.
For me, at least. As far as production, I didn't fully pay attention to it as much as I should have, but
you're fine.
The sound itself, it really was. It kind of just had this clash of old Rob Zombie meets newer modern metal era, and it didn't fully, it wasn't terrible. It kind of meshed well together, and you could definitely tell he was having a lot of fun with this album while listening through all these pieces. Like Doppler said, some of the shorter pieces on this, those spoken ones or whatever, kind of, I don't know. For me, they kind of were just there, and I don't know if they kind of fit with it, but I mean, to each their own, I guess.
Yeah.
But I definitely had it kind of felt while I was listening to it while driving, of course. I mean, it was just. It kind of felt like I was driving the early 2000s, listening to old school Rob and just kind of jamming out to it almost. So,
yeah, well, I mean, Rob Zombie.
I guess in that aspect, yep.
I'm saying, Rob Zombie, a lot of time, for most of the time for me, he makes most of the tunes that it's almost meant to be more have something to jam along to while you're having a good conversation with your buddies, and just you kind of got in the background, and every once in a while you guys are both oh wait, and then you all have this Irish pub, everyone's going along with it, and then you get right back into the conversation.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, no, I mean, would I purchase the album? Probably not, but I don't typically purchase albums anymore, mainly because you can stream almost anything anywhere nowadays. But would I listen to it again? Probably. For that, I mean, just for the fun alone from it, and kind of bringing me back to older times and better times than what we're dealing with today now in the world. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay. Give me a moment.
Yep.
Did Doppler say what he was doing?
No, he didn't.
Oh, huh. Because apparently I didn't see whenever he just left.
I think it was right near the beginning of my my words on the album.
Oh, so I was about to be damn, someone vaporize him.
I was boring.
Apparently.
Your words mean nothing to me.
Thankfully, I've been able to hone in the process of editing. So.
Yeah.
So what'd y'all score it?
Oh, he scored it a 1.
I scored it a 3.5.
Okay.
I haven't
Well,
given
you
them a
said
rating yet.
It had that. I said it that it's like that old school Rob meets like newer metal, and it kind of still made me feel like I was driving like the early 2000s, listening to old school Rob.
what would you say?
He hasn't.
Yeah, I was waiting for you.
Hmm.
So, now that you're back, I first discovered Mr. Zombie whenever, as the foreshadowing may have foretold, kind of pathetic, but it was during the Need for Speed Underground 2 playing that, and I discovered him.
There was a snowboarding game. I forget what it was called, but he was in that too.
SSX.
I think that, yeah, that sounds right.
Oh, well, I didn't play this game.
Something like
that would, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
But Two Lane Blacktop was...
I'm surprised I discovered him before you.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, so discovered him. I'm like, wow, this is not too shabby. I dig it. And since I was like a rock and metal guy at the time, I went through and made sure that all of those tracks for that game were the only ones playing, which is also where, but kind of was, which most wanted is how I came across Static X, at least to my understanding anyway. But anywho, so yeah, I first heard him there, and along the way, it's just I heard him here and there, and like it sounded cool at the time, but didn't put any thought towards it, and just basically knew him as the household, like almost kind of like southern metal guy. Like if there was, if there was
he even went with the look there for a while too.
Oh, I know, but like, so, I mean, like if there's a group of like bikers and they're into the more heavier stuff, then they're either listening to Ozzy or Zombie. So yeah,
Black Label.
yeah, Black Label. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. Black Label as well. So knowing that, I'm like, okay, well, it's definitely gonna be heavy. So like, and like my wife is also big into Rob Zombie, and her favorite track is "Living Dead Girl" because it just is.
Why does that not surprise me?
Yeah. But
First track I discovered him on.
no, I know, but at least I think that's her favorite track. I'm not sure actually. She might have more than that. I don't know. But
We'll run with it.
yeah. So which I did recommend that she check this out as well because it was Rob Zombie and this one she likes, and so I also kind of asked her how she thought of it. So I mean, I'll mention that as well. But for me, like based off hearing the first two or three singles that we heard, because I also heard this single that we didn't cover because fuck it. I loved every minute of it because every goddamn modern metal thing today has a sound that I don't particularly care for. And so to hear that the early millennia was still knockably dead and alive and well, it was nice to fucking hear. And just the chaos that Zombie has been known for still resided. So I'm like, this is gonna be nice. So yes, I did have some expectations without fully really knowing his history, mind you. So I did kind of go into this knowing it's just what to expect, just what their sound is. And I do remember seeing the 15 tracks, and I thought, God damn, he's been busy for these past several years. And then so I started listening to it, and that first track, like Doppler said, was fucking awesome. Like it was damn good. And Zombie did something that not a lot of people are doing these days. I noticed it was that he was cutting it short, sweet, to the point, and leaving it at that. No fluffs or frills, and just going to the next track, doing what he needs to do. And I'm like, wow, there's hardly anyone doing that anymore. And so it just. And everything for the most part, yes, it did have those main signature Zombie sounds, but each track was fairly unique in its own way, and it can be kind of difficult to do that whenever you've got the groove industrial metal kind of thing going. Because, I mean, there were industrial metal aspects into this as well, and, I mean, it had the rhythm of groove metal, but for its sound, it was fairly industrial. And it was enjoyable for me from beginning to end. And I just, man, it sounded so good. And then I kind of made the really face whenever Lord Acid, Wolfman, whatever it is, I don't remember anymore. But once that came on, I'm like, the hell is this? And I'm like, it's kind of damn funny. and literally all I could think about, because my wife and I saw Zombie and Cooper whenever they came through our town, and whenever he played fucking in a UFO, I remember looking at my wife during that show and going, is he saying what I think he's saying? And she goes, if you mean fucking in a UFO? Yep. And I'm like, all right, nice. And she's like, you've never really heard Rob Zombie, have you? And I'm like, honestly, not like this. And so she's like, he sticks he's no pun intended, he sticks these things in every so often, like he could be a jokester. And so I'm like, oh, okay, I dig it. And so I kind of had that same feeling on this one. And then got to the end and I'm thinking to myself, well, shit, that's all? Like, I want more. That was good. Like, so, I mean, yeah, the sound was fantastic. And going off what Frosty said with more of the modern sound, I don't necessarily think they had a modern sound. I think they had, from what I could hear, they had better production that allowed what they were doing in the 90s to really be able to come through. So that's what I mean whenever I say the modern production, as in they had the capabilities of bringing life to what they were already doing, not necessarily that they have more of a modern sound. It's just they've got modern equipment to make the old sound stand out better. So from at least
potato.
There is a fucking difference between better production and sound, and Rob Zombie all of a sudden sound like he took notes from Spirit Box, sir.
You're true.
Because that's all I can think about whenever I hear modern metal. It's Sleep Token, Spirit Box, or whoever the fuck's going on. Oh god, get out of my head. Anyways, so I thoroughly enjoyed this. Even like lyrically, I wasn't listening to it a whole lot. Like I was just what I could pick out and piece together. I was just mainly listening to the groove of it, and then the lyrics I did understand, but it was almost a second aspect for me. It felt lyrically, it felt a lot like punk does, in that the phrasing is short to the point, and there's not a lot going on necessarily. With the exception of the first track, there was more of an actual subject matter being discussed. But whenever I had spoken to my wife about it, she had said that she was really glad to hear that he had put out something new. And the main two disappointing things she had with it, one was a little bit more disappointing over the other, was that similar to like Living Dead Girl, or she was able to name off like one or two albums that I had no idea about. Like she knows Zombie way more than I do. He wrote more of like a story, or he wrote more of like in-depth subject matter in previous material than he did on this, but she didn't say it was bad. It's just she kind of wished it was more that he kind of went on. And also she was disappointed in just how short it was, because it's kind of like me. You wanted more, which in that aspect is kind of a good con to have whenever an artist releases something, just because they apparently did good enough for you to be like, at least it's it, rather than, God, thank God that shit's over. So yeah, I mean, we both enjoyed it, and could I see owning this whenever finances aren't an issue? Then yeah, honestly, yes. Like it was a fun album. For that, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5, just like Doppler, just because it was fucking groovy. It hit fucking heavy. Granted, to say that, and I don't have much to compare it to these days, so I guess take that for what it's worth. But yeah, it was just a goddamn fun album, and there's not a lot we're hearing that anymore. And thank you, Mr. Zombie, for keeping that old sound still going. Thank you. But yeah, that was our perspectives on it. Thoughts. Let us know what you thought as well in the comments below. But until next time, guys, whether musically, lyrically, or literally, keep rolling heavy.